Hey everyone, this is Sade Simone. Thank you for watching my video. In this video, I was inspired by the characters from Steven Universe of Sapphire and Ruby. So I did a little makeup look to go with them. Stay tuned. I started off with a clean face and I used my Hard Candy primer. That's the 12-hour primer, and I rubbed it all over my face to make sure it's soaked into my pores. I'm starting with Wet n Wild concealer in dark cocoa. I'm putting it on every dark spot that I have that my foundation will not cover up completely on its own. And so I wanted to put an extra layer because I want my foundation to be a little bit more full coverage than it typically would be by itself. I'm using a wet Morphe sponge to blend out all the spots that I put concealer on to make sure that they blend evenly on the skin when I put my foundation on. I'm taking any random translucent powder that you have that you kind of want to use up, and I'm putting this to set my concealer as well as set my primer. What this does is helps keep the oil at bay on my face, as well as it locks that first layer of concealer that I put down, and so it makes it a little bit more full coverage than I typically would have without the concealer alone. For my eyebrows, I'm using the NYX Precise Brow Pencil in Espresso. I'm brushing them out just to clean them up, and then I'm going to use the brow pencil to just outline my brow. I did not create a lot of extra brow. I just went with what brow I'm given. This is just for everyday look that I would do. If I wanted it more dramatic, I would make sure that I would make it darker, as well as I would make it a little bit more dramatic than what I have. This brow pencil is really good for doing really quick brows. For my eyebrows, to clean them up, I'm using Ulta Full Coverage Liquid Concealer in Deep Warm, and I'm just going up under the brows with a small concealer brush that I have from Real Techniques, and I'm just cleaning them up before I put on any type of eyeshadow. I'm now blending with a damp blender before I use my primer on my eyes. I use Wet n Wild primer on my eyes. I blend on the actual lid itself, and I blend up to the concealer that I put on there. Now I'm starting with my JCat Hollywood palette, and I'm going to pick the lightest gray blue color, and I'm going to start sweeping that above my crease area as being my quote-unquote transition color, and typically it will be some type of brown or warmer color, but I use a cooler color. Now I'm using a darker color using a tapered head brush, and I'm going to continue to build the color starting at the edge of my eye going into the crease, and just continue to sweep it in more and more. I'm adding more product to the brush and just continue to work that product in to make it a little bit more darker and dramatic. For my cut crease, I'm using the same concealer that I used for my lids, which is the Wet n Wild in Deep Cocoa. I'm taking an angled head brush and I'm making my cut crease going with the actual crease of my eyes. Since I have hooded eyes, I've just used the crease that my eyes give, and that's going to be my stencil for my eyes. After that, I just blend through with all the open spaces that is left, and I go almost over my whole lid. I leave about a fourth of it left. That's going to be for blending area. I'm going to blend the edges of my cut crease using the darkest eyeshadow color that I had on my eyes before. Now I'm using the bright metallic-y pink color that's in the palette. I'm blending that into the edge of my cut crease, and I keep adding on product and blending it up to and have it cover all of the concealer that I put on there. For the inner corners of my eyes, I use the silvery blue color, and that's going to finish off my cut crease, and I'm going to add that using a small tapered smudger brush, and that helps pick up product and for me to lay it in that really small area. And so I just keep adding and I keep blending it in and adding product to it. Now is blending time. I'm taking the brushes that I use and I'm blending so the transition between the two colors is not as hard as it was before. I may add some product depending on where I'm blending it, but I'm blending from dark to the pink, from the pink to this blue silver, and I just keep on doing really short strokes to blend it through. I struggle when it comes to making wings, so what I did was I put tape on the edges of my eyes to be able to help me make my wing using my liquid liner that's from NYX, and so it helps me make a really small and cute little wing on my eyes. After removing my tape, I'm now using Princess Lash by Essence to do my upper lashes. I will do my lower lashes after I get done with my face. I'm now using my favorite foundations from Drugstore, which are the Superstay by Maybelline as well as the Maybelline Fit Me. I'm using the colors Warm Coconut in the Superstay and then Latte in the Fit Me. I have to mix the two because the Superstay is a little red in the Warm Coconut, but when it comes together it matches me very well. And the brush that I'm using is from Morphe. And now I'm going to use a Morphe sponge to be able to blend and get all the excess foundation that I have on my face off of it. And I just use a sponge all over to blend it all the way through, and it picks up all the excess foundation that I have on my face. To highlight, I went back to my Ulta concealer in Deep Warm, and I highlighted up under my eyes for today, and typically that's about all I would do for a normal day, so I just put that on there. And then I also cleaned up using a small concealer brush because of when I did the wing as well as me doing my eye makeup, I didn't want to end up blending out and messing it up. I'm using a wet sponge to blend it out. I'm just going up under the eyes and I'm doing a quick tapping motion to blend it out and blend it into my cheeks as well as the rest of the foundation that's on my face. I'm using my favorite, which is a Deep Potted Makeup Revolution in Banana. I put this on up under my eyes everywhere that I put concealer at and just blend it through using that same sponge. I'm now using my black opal using another Morphe sponge to blend everywhere that I did not put the concealer at, which is going to be on my forehead, my cheeks, my nose, my lips, my chin, all those places. At this time, I'm also making sure that the blending that I did between my setting powder, the banana powder, as well as my black opal is blended together as well. To contour, I'm using the Black Radiance contour palette in dark, and I'm using the darkest shade, and I'm using a fluffy powder brush to do the contours of my cheeks, which is the hollows, as well as do around my forehead and a little bit and around there, just to blend it through and make my face look like it has a little bit more dimension to it. Using a clean brush, I'm then sweeping away all the banana powder that is left over on my face, and so that makes sure that all of that's cleaned up and so it blends together well as well. For my blush, more so my highlight, I'm using Milani Berry Amore. It gives a built-in highlight, and for my case, because the blush itself is a little light, I'm using Infallible by L'Oreal for my under eyes, and so that's just going to be my eyeliner for under my eyes, as well as I'm doing my bottom mascara. For my lips, I'm outlining them in ColourPop BFF3. I'm using Maybelline's Liquid Lacquer in Sassy on my lips. I wanted something a little light and just lip glossy and shiny. Now that I've gotten my hair together, I almost forgot one thing, my setting spray. I used Ulta setting spray in matte. I sprayed it all over and fanned my face to dry it off. And now here's the finished product. I hope you enjoyed yourself and I had a great time making this video. If you'd like to see a review over the palette that I did, please hit the link, as well as don't forget to like, share, as well as thumbs up the video. I hope you have a great day, and please remember to subscribe, and there's always a little time for beauty. Bye guys, have a great day. Kisses.